Hi everyone, welcome back. I am not working out here today. You can see I actually have decent clothes on, and there's a very good reason for that. There it is. That's a pretty good reason, I'd say. If you're new to the channel or a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please consider subscribing and helping me out with Google's algorithm Google owns YouTube, so it's the same basic thing. And then maybe we can draw more people in, and maybe Google will pay me more for using my intellectual property to sell you ads. That would be fantastic. I'm gonna see if my exhaust fan actually works to pull some of this heat out of here, because it is outrageous, and I've been here for over 10 years and still haven't insulated the roof when I've had all the opportunity to do so. I have things to do on this car, and as I'm looking at some stuff, I kind of consider why I had problems to begin with in the last video, where we had all sorts of issues plaguing us. Well, I don't have parts yet. I have a couple things coming in that need to be done in order for me to have this car changed, fixed, and ready for the next race. Except we have a heat wave going on. So it's not New Englander friendly weather, I'll say. I've been out in it all day. My brain is fried, and I'm unhappy about it. We're used to more of a temperate climate up here. You know, if it gets to 85, 90 degrees, we can handle it. It's not too bad. It's a little hot. But when the real feel is 110 degrees, like it's going to be the next 3 days, it's hot. I can handle 32 degrees. I can handle 15 degrees. I can handle up to 90 degrees. I can handle a big wave. This is too much. It's actually kind of pulling some of the heat out. Not bad. Not bad for a little V4 fan. So there's a bunch of stuff I got to get ready, but like I said, parts aren't here. And with me being in the depth of the heat wave and working outdoors for my day job, I don't want to be out in the heat. I figured I'd get you guys up to speed on what we're going to be doing, and then at the end of the week, when it actually cools off, which is, thank God, it's going to drop like 20 degrees when we go racing, then we can go racing. In the last video, we found a bunch of stuff wrong. We found all that splashed water and had testimonials and video proof that the exit for our excess water bleed off, overflow, whatever you want to call it, on the radiator or the cooling system was not a great idea. So I installed a puke tank, or an overflow tank if you don't want to be disgusting. So that should help handle a lot of this, and hopefully it won't spray crap all over the right rear tire like we were doing the last time. Carburetor also needs to be cleaned out, but we'll get to that in a minute. And we got to go through the normal, grease it, put things together, make sure things aren't falling apart. Like, that feels pretty good. We did a compression test. Everything seems to be okay. So the changes that we have on tab for this thing are going to be pretty minimal. I mean, after seeing the video and seeing how much I was actually having water pour down the right side, and if you look down here, you can see that the body is perfectly straight in line. Well, usually you can. You can see the body is perfectly straight in line with the tire. So anything that comes off of it is going to go onto that tire. So I definitely spun tire on a restart once, and haven't done that all year. And that was all water related. I guarantee it. I also found this plug had a bunch of crap on it. And I noticed that I found a wet plug. We changed all those in the last video. So hopefully, again, fingers crossed, this thing should at least run properly. I'm going to do a little bit of carburetor tuning and checking the timing. And that's all on tap. But I'm not staying in here because I don't have to. If I had parts, I'd probably be in here. But it is show night, and I'm going to actually go dehydrate myself on a treadmill to try to keep my fitness up a little bit, because I used to work out a lot more than I do. And that sucks because I actually kind of enjoyed it. I've done it my whole life. I'd at least get on a treadmill or lift weights or do something. Every other day I'd be on doing cardio. Lately, since I've started racing full time, it's been like once a week. I don't like that. So I'm going to try to get back on a schedule, go dehydrate myself quite a bit, and stay in the air conditioning for the night and get ready for the podcast that my brother and my friends do. So we'll go do that. Parts will be here tomorrow. I'll see you then. It's the next day, and it's even worse. Let's see. What's the roof say? Oh, God. 132 degrees. What is it in here like if I shoot it against the wall? 100 degrees. People in Arizona and Florida and Texas are probably laughing at me right now. And that's okay. You're free to laugh. It's a free country. I'm going to plug my big fan in, try to get some of the heat sucked out of the roof. And then maybe I'll put the air conditioning on, as if that'll do anything at all. I'm going to come out here and just try to get a couple things done. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be out here. Tomorrow it's supposed to be hot as well, and then Thursday it's supposed to completely drop off. And we're going to lose like 20 degrees, which is so nice. I'm so looking forward to that. All right, let's see what I can get done here at least. So I do have air conditioning in my shop. It's just, as everybody knows, I don't have any insulation. So that's a completely wasted effort. But I figured it ain't blowing very cold. But if I take this thing out and blow the coils off, even though I took the filter out, filter's pretty clean now, but it's not the most perfect thing in the world. And this thing is dusty and disgusting. And I've been blowing at this thing for a while, and that's what's coming out of it. And it's even worse inside. So I'm just going to spend some time here not peeking my microphone and showing you guys, but blowing these coils out. Maybe that'll help me get some air back. Oh, it's already starting to feel cooler. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I figured the carb could use a good cleaning out just to be safe and do a little bit of maintenance. I checked the fuel in a clean cup just to see if there was any water in it or separation or whatever. Looked clean to me. So I just kind of hosed it off, threw it back together. I even took a vacuum bleeder and I found that little suction cup thing. I put it on the power valve that I run and I pumped it up a little bit, and I watched the thing open and close whenever I would add or hit the bleed off valve right here. It's like a little Schrader valve. And I could see it open and close with vacuum from this thing. So that's pretty cool. What's not cool is how little my air conditioner wants to work right now. Because it's kind of the only thing that keeps it, a lot of fan noise. It's the only thing that keeps it even a little bit bearable in here. Like instead of it being, 95 degrees outside, it'll be like 80 in here, 85. So, it's bearable. Like I said, I went and blew all of the coils off and cleaned everything out and tried to get any dust or gunk or whatever off of it. I even took it around outside and blew the outside off and cleaned the filter out and everything. And it just does not, it's working right now, but it doesn't stay working. And it really irritates me because it was, now it isn't anymore. So I decided to come through and look at the rear end just to make sure nothing's bad. Like you take and you grab it, make sure there's no real end play in the bearing or the C-clip if you got a stock rear. Brakes aren't hanging up. Doesn't feel like the lash in the rear end is too bad either, which is good. come around to this side here, do the exact same thing. Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad if I pull in and out. It doesn't have any lash or excess play. And these have open rears in them, so if you, I don't know if you can see the other wheel or not, but see this one moves, that one doesn't. So I like open rears. They're a lot of fun. They're tricky to drive. They're not idiot proof by any stretch of the imagination. And it really brings the driver out. Makes the racing better in my mind, but a lot of places don't have street stocks like that. This is the reason why I went to Stafford. Definitely want to throw a camera. Every single week I keep saying, oh yeah, I'm going to throw a camera down the rear end and make sure the ring and pinion are wearing properly. And I never do. I don't know why. It's literally pull the fill plug off the rear and then fish a camera in there. I have a cheap Temu borescope that I can plug into the back of my phone, and it just shows up. It's not the clearest or the best thing in the world, but it works. So I should do that. I'm the one who built it, so if it goes bad, it's my fault. And I also built the transmission. That seems to be okay. There's no real weird whining noises. I mean, it does sound a little whiny in the rear end, but I mean, it is a Ford 9-inch, and it doesn't sound like it's coming apart. It doesn't vibrate or anything stupid or weird. We also got to get underneath, grease the drive shaft, because I'm very gun shy about that sort of thing. I've had plenty of U-joints fail for no obvious reason, so more maintenance items. And it's not working again. Great. Okay, I'm wiping off the old borescope, the old Temu USB-C to whatever you got borescope. They come with adapters and stuff. It's cheap, and it comes with a really simple app that, you know what, some people may call it crappy. I call it good because it works every single time I plug it into my phone, and I can see what I'm looking at. So I took a look at the ring and pinion and whatever I could see in there. And I also kind of used the old flesh dipstick, this one, forget it. And I put it down into the fill hole, and it actually has some oil in it. So that's good. It hasn't leaked any at all. Wow, oh, that was slippery. Anyway, took a look in there, and nothing looked wrong at all. So it was pretty clean. Looked like it was wearing right in the middle. No flakes, no sharp edges. Seemed fine. And I even moved the pinion a little bit just to check the lash on it. Even that looked pretty good. So consider that good. I'm going to go grab my grease gun that fits. Probably get under there at some point and go grease the drive shaft yet again. But that's going to have to wait, because if you see the state of me, it's not good. I mean, it's not good all the time, but right now, it's not very good. Air conditioner's been on the whole time, and let's see. Oh, it's actually blowing cold right now, which it'll stop in a minute, and then it won't cool off at all. It's the only thing that makes it comfortable, like I said before, but my word, I mean, I work outside for a living, and yep, it just shut off already. You saw how hot it is in here. So tomorrow's the last day of the heat wave, and I do get some parts tomorrow. Then I've got all day Thursday off, and we're probably not going to make a heck of a lot of changes to this thing. We're just going to do maintenance items like grease it, check for leaks, check for broken things, check for loose stuff, and throw it on scales. So not going to be a lot of work because too hot. And racing is supposed to be fun, and if working on them is no fun, driving them won't either, because then the work won't get done, then your car sucks, then you're mad, like last week. So, I'll wait for parts. I'll see you tomorrow. Ah, that's much better. 2 days later. Yesterday I did not come to work in here because my parts didn't show up, and they were supposed to. The tracking number said, oh yeah, it's arriving Wednesday. Didn't even leave New Jersey yet. Okay, not here. So I didn't bother because it was 98 degrees again. And I said, you know what? No, I'm not doing this anymore. But today, a much better day. It's raining and 72 degrees. It's back to New England weather. I'm very happy about that. It's a hair warmer inside my shop than it is outside. Perfect. All right, now we can get back to work. Hopefully that part will show up here, and I'll show you what I got. With the minor suspension adjustments we're gonna make, I don't think we're gonna make too many. I did give it a tune-up with new spark plugs. This is what I'm talking about, this red thing here. I don't know if this is actually designed properly. The collar, or whatever you call this here, looks like too tall for it to actually work properly. It's really nicely made. I mean, it's a brand, but I think it's never really worked properly. So it's almost like it's too tall and it doesn't seat enough for this to adequately like have spring tension on it. So like I could push this thing down here and it just, I don't even have to push it down. Look, that's telling me that's not really seating. You know what I mean? Usually you got to push it down and turn it in order for the thing to seat, like on a radiator cap here. You know what I mean? So something's telling me that's wrong. That's what I bought. I bought a Moroso one. Hopefully it'll actually come in today. But I got other things to do. I got to fix a couple of little minor things. We're going to grab the grease gun and get everything greased up, and then probably have it on scales. Now this race coming up is actually our extra distance race. It's 30 laps instead of 20 laps. It pays more. It pays like double, I think. But we got to run last, which stinks, because I'm one of those people who, you know, when my race is done, I go home. It's an hour ride home. Features start at 7 o'clock. By the time we're usually done, it's like 8 or 9. And I get home by like 10 o'clock if I just leave right away. And then I think last week it was like 10:30 I got home. We were the second feature. I got home at 10:30. And I got to be up at like 6 for work the next day. So it's, scheduling kind of sucks. And, you know, when we're running last, oh boy, I'm going to be home at, you know, midnight or 1 a.m. and sleep for, you know, 3 hours, because that's how much I'll get after a race. And that's at best. Then get up and go to work the next day, which really stinks. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that too often. Like you said, we usually only run last once, so that's nice. We also have an autograph session, which I don't have anything to autograph because I'm a street stock driver. And as a street stock driver, I know that I'm probably the lowest person on the totem pole in the regard of the ladder of divisions, right? We're pretty much the lowest one. So I'm like, autographs? Nobody knows who we are. So I'm not prepared. I might just grab some contingency stickers off the back shelf here and just give those away. I don't really know. But anyway, we'll get situated and get to work. Okay, I was inside doing some dad stuff, and my parts came in. And immediately I'm already seeing a little bit different design by the looks of it. I don't have to pull it out of there just to make sure, but it is a little different. And I'm not talking about the filler or overflow being in a different spot. This spot is terrible, by the way, because it's in the way of this bolt for the carburetor bowl. And that sucked because I had to get that off and try to get that thing cleaned out, and I left it on the car. That was terrible. This one's going to go like this right here. I'm going to pull that thing apart and see if it's a different design. And I'm actually going to take my calipers out because I got some digital calipers over here. I bought this for my dad, and then, you know, he died. And so I got it back. Good, it's got a stem on the back. All right, I'm going to measure that, see what the difference is. I got some interesting results, but I don't really know if it's going to make that big of a difference or not. However, it is kind of interesting. Inside here, like I said, this does have a raised lip around the edge here. That one doesn't. It's flat. And I got some measurements. The red one is 0.765 deep. Like you see, I took this thing out and kind of measured it down into it. This one's a little more difficult to get that measurement, but it's like close to 0.750. So it's not like it's a huge difference, in the size or the depth. It's about, what's it, 15 thousandths? How much is 15 thousandths? Not a hell of a lot. It's pretty close to that. That's not a lot. However, the cap design may be a little bit different as well. So, again, I'm going to try it. I don't know if it's really going to make a difference, but it does have that raised inner lip. And it doesn't have, it's got a little bit closer tolerances. So let's try that and see if it helps. Here we go. Here is the, let me get the cap test. I mentioned earlier that with the old cap setup, I could just kind of put this thing on and just turn it really easy and have it set. Well, this one, my hands are dry. Oh, yeah, that's seated a lot tougher. That was a lot more effort. The other one, I could just go, there it is, tight. This one, I had to actually do the whole push down and turn method, which you're supposed to do. So hopefully that works. I got to take it back off because I do have to fill it back up with a little bit of water. I'm going to top it off, make sure that it's got enough in there. Golly, I actually can't take it off now. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't even know. So I'm going to keep wrestling with this. Am I off here? No? Dang. Ugh. Now, this is the unfortunate part of being a racer that you have to get used to doing. This was the part that was probably causing us those problems. Like I said, it's a really nice machined billet anodized piece. But if it's not designed properly and it causes cooling issues, well, here's my aluminum box. Goodbye. The unfortunate part of racing. Sometimes you can have parts that are really nice and new and clean and function, but they don't work the right way. And if they cause you problems, you have to just get it out of your mind to like, oh, I'll just put it on the shelf and save it for something else. No, if it doesn't work, you throw it away. Even if you paid money for it, even if you've had it for a while, even if you haven't had it for a while, if it was new, throw it away. It's not worth it. So I'm hesitant to call that fixed. We'll find out tomorrow, clearly. But from past experiences, that felt a lot better putting it on. And when you actually feel the radiator cap have tension on it, and have like any sort of purchase to the gaskets, both of them, that's usually a good sign. So we got the puke tank installed, which I probably shouldn't call it that. I should probably just call it the overflow because puke is disgusting. Got the new cap inlet. What is this thing called? Filler neck, whatever. Got that installed. I tightened up the radiator clamps, hose clamps, I should say. I just topped it off with water. We got the carb cleaned up. I got to hop under and grease stuff, and I got to make an adjustment here, and then we should be able to go on scales. I got to measure the tires that we're going to race it on because we're putting 4 stickers on for the extra distance race that we've been saving up, and hopefully they're about the same size. That's the one thing. I hate Hoosier tires, but you know what? I got to give them some credit because I've been buying them without the tape, like measuring it. I'm not looking at chalk marks. I'm just kind of buying them willy-nilly, and they're all pretty much the same damn size as long as you buy them for what size corner or whatever you want. So They have been pretty consistent, so I'll give them that. Pretty good here. Adjustments are made. I got to put the air cleaner back on. I haven't done that yet. I was also going to run it, make sure that the timing was set properly. I don't know if it had slipped or not. I figured I would check it. I don't think it's gone anywhere, to be completely fair. Then we're going to go get some gas, put it in there, put it on scales, get the tire pressure set, and check ride heights and scale it. And I think that we're going to have all night to do that. It's only like 1:45 in the afternoon, which is pretty sweet. It's nice and cool out. I was thinking about taking a little break, going inside, doing some other things that I got to take care of, because then I can come out here. I'm just going to make one last look around, though, before I do that, because I don't want to leave something to chance, and then come back out, finish up. Like I said a few weeks ago, actually, I'm just not used to the weekly grind anymore. I'd spend, cripes, over a decade since we used to run, 15 to 20 races a year. So I figured that would be a wake-up call in itself, and it sure has been. But we definitely have been rewarded for it already. I mean, we put everything we had into this brand new car, and we already went to victory lane with it. Was it a little bit lucky? Sure. Did we still have to drive the hell out of it and have a good car to not have anybody catch us? Yep. Can't take that away from me. So we're going to take a once-over, then I'm going to take a little break. Then we're going to come back out, put this thing on scales, hopefully have no issues, and then put it in a box, be ready for tomorrow. All right, back from a break. Going to throw this thing on the ground, get the air pressure set, make sure the ride heights are good, make sure the scale numbers are good. I got to grease the drive shaft. Yeah, forgot to do that. I'll do that first. Then we'll do the scaling and stuff and make sure it works. That's about it. Toss it in the box. I don't want to be out here all night, and hopefully we'll be ready. I'll check some stuff for tightness, make sure there's nothing broken on like the suspension or anything. Oh, I got to touch that thing. Also, so that's about it. Same as usual, same as every week. Just keep going through the checklist. So we're all in the trailer and loaded up and stuff, and typical every night before a race, we just kind of come out and finish up and throw things in the trailer. And I'm looking around the shop and I'm looking at piles and just piles of stuff. This is unbelievable how much crap I have for such a small place. But I guess if you're self-sufficient, you kind of need to have a lot of stuff, I guess. But either way, we're ready to go. Tomorrow's the extra distance feature. We go out last, which means I'll be getting home at 1 a.m. and I'm not really looking forward to it because I hate having no sleep, and I don't sleep at all anymore anyway. So, sleep is hard to come by, and on my days off, I'm typically in bed all day. So, I gotta be honest with you guys completely. This is my confessional. Like I said, we got the win a couple weeks ago, but it didn't really light that fire under me that I thought it would. I still come out here and feel like I have to do this, not like I want to. And it just doesn't feel the same anymore. I don't know why. You know, people have been pointing out, oh, I know it's hard to do it without your dad. And it's like, I've been doing it without him for, I can't even count, 7 years. I almost needed 2 hands for that one. But it's not a new thing. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a new problem. It just didn't really kick it back off for me, you know? It's too burdensome. You know, it's too much work for what I got going on in my life, and it's just kind of difficult, man. It's not even really like, some of it's the money, but I have amazing sponsors that we've featured on this channel, and you see them every time I go on Flow Racing. It's everything. It's everything. That's your behind the scenes look right now, I guess. I don't really have a lot more to say than that right now. I might have some kind of announcement in the future, but right now I'm just trying to make it race by race and see if it just kind of comes back to me. So long night tomorrow, so I'll see you then. All right, guys, we're back down the bumpy roads of Stafford, Connecticut. Yet again, creeping up on the halfway mark of the season. And we're here. Practice report. I am actually quite pleased. Last couple, actually all of the practice sessions that we've had this season, I've been kind of feeling like we're struggling. The only time I really felt like we were okay was like the first race of the year, and then the race we won, we were okay. Today I felt more than okay. We made an adjustment that we've been talking about for a while, and it worked. We picked up 3/10 from where we were last week, and we were second fastest by 9/1000ths of a second in first practice, and that was with me missing the line a little bit, and I didn't even really get more than 2 complete laps on my own because there was a little bit of traffic. Nobody really spread out. It happens. I got to feel the car out, and we're just going to hold on to it. I skipped second practice so that we can take time, take a look at the car, make sure I get a once-over on it, make sure nothing's falling apart. Cooling system seems okay for now. We'll check it after the heat race, see what it's doing then. But until then, we're waiting. Heat race report. Ended up winning the thing. That's pretty cool. But I use those as practice. You know, once we're inside this high qualify up here, I think it was the top 5. We started in 5th, so I'm like, well, all I really have to do is just kind of hang on. But I just kind of used it as a practice for seeing how the car would race with this new adjustments that we made to the setup, and it seemed to be pretty good. I mean, as soon as we hugged the bottom, it stayed there and it didn't want to rotate too much. So I think we figured something out. Hopefully it stays that way. Now, since we are the feature division or whatever you want to call it for the night, I have to go to an autograph session. I'm not used to those. I think I did one in my entire career. So that'll be cool. I'm completely unprepared. I got like no Sharpies. I've got nothing. I hope they provide some because I'm pretty doomed. I apologize for that. I'm a street stock racer. I'm not famous or nothing. So anyway, we'll get that ready and go, and I'll take you along for the ride.
Sweater down or something on the phone. Outside crew is dead.
I know, I'm so not used to this that I forgot everything. Like,
Go ahead. Take as many as you want. There you go. There you go. I better get moving though. We ain't making a people. Wait, is it ready to the sign? You know what would be pretty cool if they let you, is, you know, that stick?
I'm terrible at what I do.
Brent's gonna win and they're gonna like throw him back on the track and lost.
You know this guy. Go ahead, how are you? Where's Bud?
Oh, you're buddy with Bud?
Yeah.
No? It's alright, you got good luck. You got the winner hat from last time.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Here you go, buddy. There you go. Yeah, sure. Does it matter what color? No?
Yeah, that was a big,
Hey, you guys
big
want my
hit.
paycheck?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah!
I don't work there no more.
No? Huh?
Yeah, I got one more. Yeah, no, my boss doesn't want to come get me anymore, so.
Thanks. Oh, it is on. There you go.
YouTube ready.
to rest. We will be heading to our fireworks display. If you got youngsters with you, please make sure that you are aware that when they do dim the lights here.
All right, Brent Gleason getting the job done. Another podium run, Brent, and I'm looking at a left front flat. The Hoosiers down. But, hey, good run. 81 car looks good.
Yeah, it don't look good on that side or most of this side after that one because that was kind of a battle. I kept getting hung out on the outside every single restart, and man, we had a good car all day. It's just wasn't quite up to snuff for the feature. I'm not quite sure what happened or when that went flat, but that's street stock racing. Some nights they're green to checker, and some nights you're here all night, so it is what it is.
Yeah, well, 30 laps later, you're here. You got the podium run. It's good point night for sure for Brent Gleason and the number 81 team, and I know you got some guys you want to thank.
Yeah, I got to thank Northeast Trucking Off-Road, my brother Jesse, my wife, my son, mom at home, all my family members. I got to thank Midstate Site Development for putting on the fireworks display. It's going to be awesome for everybody. Sunoco Race Fuels, Rad Auto Machine, D&L Services, Napa Auto Parts, and every other sponsor we have here. So thank you all.
All right, man, we're glad to have this guy here in 2025. Brent Gleason, he'll go third in your street stock Mid-State Site Development Firecracker 30.
Yeah, she's a little dinged up, and I don't have a porta power to fix that because it's kind of dead, so I'm gonna have to go to Harbor Freight and get a new one or something. But right side's not as bad. The bumper's definitely pushed in over there, so it's kinking the fender, but it's not too bad. Left side, we had to avoid a couple accidents and got really kind of creamed. I mean, the door bar protector thing down there definitely caved in pretty bad, so I'm gonna need a porta power for that. Maybe my brother's got one I can borrow. Body got peeled up here. I'm not the kind of person who's like, after every race I'm gonna go around and show you all my little dings and scratches. No, this is just to show you how physical that was. Rear bumper is completely caved in, bent all to hell. I think the rear clip might be bent too. It looks a little kinked over like this over on this corner here. It's kind of dinged over. I'm not too excited about that. Yeah, I think it might be bent down. Like the rear clip might be kicked down because I got hit so hard in the back bumper a few times. I'm trying to figure out what else is damaged here. Yeah, I think the rear clip's bent. Dang it. Might have to call up Zach, have him take a look at it. Otherwise, we're definitely taking the rear off. We're gonna have to fix the rear bumper. The rear end we had teched last night, and what they really wanted to do was pull differential covers because everybody runs stock rears. Well, I don't. I run a 9-inch, so that required us to pull that apart. So that was essentially us having to pull all the axles out. There's a... Oh, we didn't tighten those lugs. That's genius. I think we lost one. That's great. So that's going to be on order. Hopefully it's in the trailer. Probably not. Hopefully it's in the car. Definitely not. Wow, we suck. anyway, I had to pull all the axles out. I had to pull the brakes off. I had to pull the drive shaft off. We had to pull the pumpkin out and then take it to tech. And then we got home at about, I want to say, 1 a.m. So I'm probably on about 3 hours of sleep. Does it look like it? Middle-aged man with no sleep. That's what this looks like. So I'm going to try to go in the trailer, see if I can find that lug nut. It's probably not here. I have a ton of extras. It just stinks because those are all double-sided. I think all I have are single-sided ones. Doesn't really matter, but I'm a stickler when it comes to that sort of thing. So did we even tighten this side down? Now I don't even know. So anyway, we got a whole lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it because it looks like I tightened that side down. We were tired. I got to give it up for that. So, but anyway, we we have no time to get this car turned around because we race on Fridays. Next week, Friday is going to be July 4th. So we're not racing on Friday, we're racing on Thursday. So now instead of a full week of getting things ready and having Thursdays off from work, which I have, and using that entire day to finalize stuff, we now have to get this beat to hell car with other issues because it was really tired feeling. Like, motor, not up to snuff. You could see the replay where I would take off on restarts and not go anywhere. I lost spots on restarts because I had nothing for it. I thought it was a carb issue. I cleaned the carb out. Same thing. I thought we had a fouled spark plug. Changed the spark plugs. Same thing. Next is valve springs. I'm going to put valve springs in it, see if that does anything. But right now, the plan is, since we had to pull the rear end apart to tech it, we basically would have to go through the entire rear end again, put gaskets in it, pull the axles back out, do everything all over again, or we could pull the rear out and put my other rear in. That seems like a better idea right now because I could have this out and not have to fumble with it under the car. I could work on it out of the car, whereas the other one's already together and already has oil and stuff in it. Toss that in, put the brakes on it because I don't have to bleed them. I have the calipers separate from the rear end and just run it. And I've run that rear at Stafford before. It's totally fine. Never had a problem. But it's going to be a very, very quick week. And I really hope I can get parts in time. So anyway, that's going to have to do it for this week. Guys, we finished on the podium. But again, I'm just I'm really tired. It is what it is. And it was really kind of cool when we had those kids at Victory Lane and at the autograph session, and there were kids getting in the car in the Victory Lane, not Victory Lane, but on the podium, and
I know that. A lot of good side-by-side racing. You stayed in the gas, you stayed with this race. It looked like you made drift back there, but you didn't, man. You stayed there and you did really good.
Yeah, that was just hectic. I mean, I tried to keep myself out of trouble. I tried to hold down the bottom as best I could. I was really free, but I'm just happy to be here. This is not expected for me.
Yeah, I mean, legend car champion, and now in the street stocks, a big win here, and you're somebody to be dealing with now just about every week here on Friday nights at Stafford. I know you got a lot of guys you want to thank.
Of course, I especially want to thank my dad and my Uncle Joe. They worked on the stage for a long time. I finally got this thing good. Can't thank them enough. I love them both. I also want to thank my mom, my sister, Jordan, my girlfriend, GS Motorsports, Tom Buffington, Lana Chalosky Motorsports, Airtime Landscaping, Team Critical, and all the fans that came out. Thank you so much.
All right, man, there it is. Give it up one more time. Our 701st feature winner, PJ Evans here in the street stop from Wednesday. Second to those that firecracker 30. Let's go up. First name, please, use your name.
Next second place runner, starting to fire your car. So it's all over your car. Next thing you went really more out there. Well, let's not sure what's going on. There's a lot of being and banging out there. I'm trying to get a little upset when you get back to them, but hey, it is what it is, you know. We're real happy to finish your second. It's the first time up here. I want to thank everybody that helped me. Thank Stafford. Thank PJ Ladoa, all my sponsors, Shoes Adventures TV, DFR, Help! Installation Plus,
They were there, and I remember, you know, being one of those kids and wishing that I could go and just hang out, just see race cars. Even sit in them was just amazing. And you know, when one of them said it was the best day ever, that just drove home why I do this. And man, that's cool. You know, that's so cool. And I just remember being one of those kids. And makes me happy, you know, and that's all I really care about, is just kind of passing it on and making, you know, memories for people and getting people interested. And if that's a way of doing it, then that's really cool. So I'm going to spend the rest of the day getting this thing on jack stands, which you'll probably see in my next video. But for now, thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Thank God I have a vacation coming up in 2 weeks. If you know somebody who may enjoy this type of stuff, send them my way. It's a click of a mouse, and it helps me so very much. We won't be racing forever. We'll be doing car stuff together, though. But that's for the future to decide. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Until next time.